All right. So by now, you have done your written work in writing down what you're blaming yourself for. You've gone back and looked at that list to look at how you're punishing yourself and how you're seeking revenge. And you've gone back to see if there's mind chatter in the way that's getting in the way of you being in a clear and truthful space with yourself. So what now? Well, the next piece is some more written work. Written work is important. It's important because you are. So this one we did not go over in class. This will be new to everyone, unless you've done this work with me before. And all of this is sort of uncovering some things. I'm getting you to uncover some of your truth. I'm really calling you forward here to swim your deep rivers. One of the things we talked about in class is that we're right here at that point where it's time to show up. So just like on American Idol, you get to some point where it's time to show up, and then you get to a point where it's time to show up and show out. And that's actually a really good thing to tie back to when I was in the tub earlier. On Facebook, when you're looking at videos, if that was loud, so sorry, I just hit the mic. He was right there. So if that was a shock to your system, big inhale. On Facebook, when you're scrolling through videos, if you actually click on the video, then you're in a video page. And then the next video will just keep going, or you can scroll to find videos. I did that forever. But I happened upon a video of X Factor UK. And it was where Sharon has made one girl go away, and the crowd is losing their shit about it. So the crowd is just screaming. She can't even really talk over the mic because the crowd is like, bring her back, bring her back. So what she eventually decides to do is bring the girl back out onto the stage, but she also says, I've got 6 chairs, but I've got 3 people, and I only have 2 spots in those 6 chairs. One person has to go. Let's do a sing-off. And she pulls 2 other people who already had their space on the chairs. And they were shocked, all kinds of mind chatter. You can see it on their face and their physical bodies. And she has them all do a sing-off. And I don't know the parameters, so I don't know if they had to come up with a song off the top of their head, or if you also don't know how much of it's planned. But from the looks on the face of the judges and the other contestants during some of this, it really did not seem planned. And the girl that she had pushed, made leave earlier, she's all puffy and swollen where she's been backstage crying. And so she pulls 2 people out. They're shocked because they thought that they were safe in terms of not getting kicked off. And they have to sing a cappella, no music, on the spot. And the first girl, she played it safe. It was fine. She could sing. But she played it safe, it seemed, and she didn't show up and show out. She showed up, but she didn't show out. So the second girl, she showed up, and she showed out, and it was beautiful. She was like, okay, let's do this. And it turns out she was only 16. But the girl that they were going to kick off originally, who's been crying and has to suck all that up and all that snot back up to truly sing for her supper, like she is singing for her spot on the show at this time. She just stood there, and Sharon told her, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Do this. And that girl showed up, showed out, and showed circles around all of them. The judges, what just happened? Because she even came out with a way of singing with a genre that she apparently didn't normally sing. The guy backstage was like, where did that come from? And it's because it mattered. She wanted that. It was time for her to show up because she wanted one of those chairs. So how much do you want your truth? How much do you really want to be out from under the mind chatter? How much do you not want to blame yourself and others in your life? How much do you really want to be able to be that example for your children? How much do you want to be that example for other people? How much do you really want your hopes and your goals and your dreams? And how much are you really willing? This is a comma really situation. How much are you willing to go after them? Comma really. So at this point in this series, it's the show up and start showing out part. It's not the play it safe part. It's not the play it scared part. It's the I mean it. I'm going to do this. Whatever it takes. That there is no amount of snot and tears that is too much. I'm going to keep going. So if you watched all these videos and you didn't do any of the written work, you are selling yourself short, sister. You are going through the motions. Stop this video, go get some paper, and do the work so that you see what I see when I look at you. What your sisters in circles see when they look at you. The time for playing small is over. It's all over the world right now. The time for playing small is last season, so to speak. It's over. It had, what purpose is that really serving you except for this fake shield of protection? So, big inhale. This next part is we didn't go over in class. This is a way to uncover. This is a way to get in there and swim those deep rivers, preparing yourself for this radical forgiveness worksheet. You're just taking the mud off your shine. Yeah. As women, as humans, as people, because not just women do it, men do it as well. We imprison ourselves. So what I was just talking about in terms of this false security that we put up, these walls that we put up that we believe are keeping us safe, they're false. We're already safe. We are divine beings on a giant ball that's spinning around in space at who knows how many thousands of miles an hour. It's a lot. I actually read it recently. It's crazy. You're safe. You are a soul in this beautiful vessel. You're okay. Put up these walls believing that people can't see you. That they can't see these things that you've done wrong. They can't see what you're blaming yourself for. If you just put up that wall, if you just put up that shield, they can't see. Honey, you didn't go anywhere. Not once. And the fact is, they are just highly likely not seeing the bullshit that you're seeing. Big inhale. You're imprisoning yourself. I imprison myself. And here's the thing. The door was never locked. The door on your cage was never locked. In fact, it's been open the whole time. You just can't see it when you're underneath all that stuff. You can't see it through the mud. You hear me talk sometimes about have to and should. Both are false. I have to, false. I should, false. I shouldn't, false. I need to. So, I have to gives you no choice. It imprisons you. I need to is another lock on your cell door. And by lock, I mean it's perceived. Because there actually is no lock. You are not locked away anywhere, except for by your own thoughts. So So it's a perceived lock shutting you in even more. And should hold you in for life. I want to, and I choose to, are conscious and freeing choices. And I'm reading this from a handout that I'll post a little bit later. It's a handout that I made when I was doing the Deep Rivers work. How can you ever meet the expectations that you're putting on yourself? Really. And especially, how can you continue to meet them if you continue to build them and never accept where you are right now? See how we're prepping for blue acceptance? So, sister, get real close here. Will you set yourself free? Make a list of the shoulds that you have against yourself. Number it so that you can look at that number later, because the number at the end might surprise you. Yeah. So what are the expectations that you're holding against yourself? So make a list of any shoulds, any have tos, and any need tos. And I'm going to add another one that's actually not on this list. I'm going to write it down so don't forget. Supposed to. Yep. The things you believe you're supposed to do. How you're supposed to be. How you're supposed to be the good and proper lady and the good little girl. So make a list of I shoulds, I shouldn'ts, can add the shoulds, I have to, so should not, have to, need to, supposed to. Yeah. And then breathe. A lot. You're just pulling stuff out of the deep rivers. You don't have to keep it. You got this. You really do. Show up and show out.